actively looking for and challenging toxic thoughts or unhelpful habits.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to really get into some fascinating ideas, hopefully help you get truly well-informed. Today, we're looking at something we all think about, right? Happiness.
Absolutely, it's universal.
It is, but we often feel it's just, well, random, out of our control.
Yeah, like it just happens to you. Or it doesn't.
Exactly. This idea that it's fleeting, maybe just luck. But what if thinking that way is actually kind of the problem? What if happiness is something you could, I don't know, build, something you could actually practice and get good at?
That's a powerful thought.
It really is. And it's the core idea, the really paradigm-shifting idea in the source for today's deep dive. The Happiness Experiment, A Practical Guide to Joy by Carl B. Barney. So, our mission today, let's unpack how this book challenges that conventional thinking, how it offers a surprisingly structured way to think about finding sustained happiness.
And it's interesting right from the start, isn't it? The book pulls together a few different strands.
Yeah.
You've got objectivist philosophy, the Ayn Rand-inspired ideas about reason, self-responsibility, individual achievement.
Exactly. And he weaves that with positive psychology concepts, the more modern stuff, plus his own experiences.
Okay.
So it immediately tells you this isn't just fluffy affirmations. It aims for intellectual depth and practical steps you can actually use.
Okay, let's unpack that core idea then, because it really does make you stop and think. The book says happiness isn't just a feeling you kind of hope for, but it's a skill, something you can learn, something you can develop.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating is how explicit Barney is about this. He compares learning happiness to, say, learning piano.
Or getting fit.
Yeah. Going to the gym, you practice, you put in the effort, you get better.
Okay, I see.
And thinking about it that way, well, it's incredibly empowering, isn't it?
It really is.
It shifts you. Suddenly, you're not just passively waiting for good things to happen or blaming circumstances.
Right.
You realize you have agency. You can do something about your own well-being. It becomes an active pursuit. You practice it. You improve. So like a musician showing up for practice, even when they don't feel inspired.
Precisely. That's the mindset shift.
That really reframes it. Okay, so if happiness is a skill, like playing an instrument, what are the basics? What are the building blocks, according to Barney? Where do you start?
Right. So Barney argues that genuine, lasting happiness, it needs a foundation.
Okay.
And that foundation is built on pursuing what he terms rational values. Setting goals that really mean something to you, that align with those values, and living with integrity, with purpose.
Rational values.
Yeah.
What does he mean by that exactly? Not just things you happen to want.
No, not fleeting desires or, what everyone else thinks you should want. He means the things you consciously choose because they rationally contribute to a good life for you long term.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, things like gaining knowledge, doing productive, meaningful work, building genuine, honest relationships.
Okay. Things with substance.
Things with substance, exactly. And he really emphasizes that this internal alignment, knowing what truly matters to you and then acting on it, that's critical.
Makes sense.
So for you, the listener, really getting clear on your own core values, that becomes like step one in this whole happiness experiment.
So know yourself first.
Yeah.
Build that integrity.
Okay. That's fascinating. How does he build on that? If values are the foundation, what are the actual parts of this happiness skill?
Yeah.
This is where it gets really interesting, right? Because he breaks it down further into these core components or pillars.
That's right. He outlines 5 specific pillars. He sees them as essential for building a really robust structure for happiness. Each one adds a layer.
Okay, what are they?
So they are self-esteem, productivity, relationships, self-awareness, and personal responsibility.
Let's touch on those.
Yeah.
Self-esteem. That's not just feeling good, is it?
No, not in his view. It's about building genuine self-worth, earned confidence. It comes from your actions, your ethical choices.
Right. You build it. You don't
Yeah.
just have it. Exactly. And productivity isn't just being busy. It's achieving things that matter to you. Relationships are about real connection, authentic connection. Self-awareness, truly understanding your own thoughts, your emotions,
Personal responsibility.
taking ownership, full ownership of your life, your choices, your happiness, no blaming.
Wow. Okay.
And if you look at the bigger picture, you see how these aren't just like separate items on a list.
They connect.
They totally connect. They feed into each other. It forms this sort of holistic system for well-being. It's really quite comprehensive.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. It feels very integrated. Which brings us to the title, right? The happiness experiment. What does he mean by experiment? Are we talking lab coats here?
Huh.
Yeah.
No, not quite Bunsen burners and beakers, thankfully.
Okay, good.
It's more about treating your life as your personal laboratory.
Okay.
He invites you, the reader, to actively try things out, test new habits, new ways of thinking or behaving, and then pay close attention. Track your responses. How do you feel? What works, what doesn't? It's like iterating, refining your approach based on your own results.
So constant adjustment.
Yes, he really stresses the active, iterative nature of it. Keep tweaking until you find what genuinely works for you, what authentically boosts your well-being.
That sounds very personalized.
It is, and it's designed to help you gain real self-insight, to move beyond generic, one-size-fits-all advice, and actually customize your own path to joy. You become the scientist of your own happiness, in a way.
I like that, the scientist of your own happiness. Okay, so pulling this together, what does this mean for you listening right now? What are the concrete things, the practical actions the book actually suggests we do? How do we run these experiments?
Well, he gives several practical takeaways to put the philosophy into practice.
Like?
First, keeping a happiness journal.
Okay.
To actually monitor your moods, your actions, what triggers good feelings or bad ones.
Yeah.
It's like collecting data, as you said earlier.
Right.
Got it. Second, using rational self-reflection. Actively looking for and challenging toxic thoughts or unhelpful habits. Trying to root them out.
Consciously.
Third, practicing gratitude.
Yeah.
But also really focusing on achievement, recognizing what you accomplish.
Okay.
And finally, and this loops back to the start, always striving to align your everyday actions with those deeper, long-term values we talked about.
Yeah.
That's key for lasting fulfillment.
These steps sound very clear, very actionable, but, lots of self-help books have lists of things to do. What makes Barney's approach, or maybe the way he talks about it, what makes this book feel different? How does it stand out?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think it's partly the tone. It's motivational, yes, but also very analytical.
Okay.
He blends that philosophical depth, the objectivist roots, with these really practical exercises.
Okay.
But what really makes it distinct, I think, is how directly it challenges some common self-help tropes.
Yeah, such as?
Well, it's not about chasing momentary pleasure, quick fixes, or just repeating shallow affirmations. The happiness experiment grounds happiness firmly in reason, in ethics, in a commitment to long-term self-development. It's about building something solid, something enduring from the inside out.
Less about feeling good momentarily, more about building a good life.
Exactly. Which, raises a pretty important question for you, the listener. What kind of happiness are you actually looking for? Is it just that fleeting feeling? Or is it something deeper, more substantial, something you actively construct?
That's a powerful distinction. So this deep dive into the happiness experiment, it really hammers home this idea, doesn't it? That happiness isn't just this passive state you fall into. It's a skill, something you actively cultivate through deliberate choices, knowing your values, and that personal experimentation, it really puts the ownership back on you.
It really does. It encourages you to think about your own life as this ongoing experiment, an iterative journey where you're in charge, you're the lead researcher figuring out what works for your well-being.
So let's leave you with this thought then. If happiness truly is a skill, maybe like learning guitar or piano, what's one small practice exercise, just one thing you could start doing today deliberately to work on your own well-being?
Grab The Happiness Experiment, a revolutionary way to increase happiness, by Carl B. Barney, now on sale for $16.95. Don't miss this chance to build good habit and achieve remarkable results. Buy now, today.
Like and subscribe for more Bookhaven podcasts.